this is Jamie Maggart. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this cute little treat bag. Easter's getting close, so I thought it would be fun to make a little treat bag. So let's get started. I got to put it out of scene because I'm going to use my scoring, Simply Scored board today. I need you to be able to see it. So, oh, I'm not using that one. I'm using the Butterfly Brilliance just because I had a bunch already stamped and die cut out, and that way I can use them. So they're stamped on white paper with a magenta black and then colored in with the blends. You've already seen me do that a bunch of times, so I'm just using one that I already did. Okay, then I'm using flowering vine dies. I'm using this rectangle one, and I've already die cut it out of white. And I find if I put it in my machine die side up, it cuts very nicely. Okay, you need a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of cardstock, whatever color you want for your base of your card, along with 2 pieces that are 1/4 inch by 5 1/2 inches that are going to be the handles. And then for the decorator back side, this panel here, you need a 2 3/4 by 4 inch piece, whatever color you want for your background behind. I just picked this yellow, I think it's Daffodil Delight. And then you need your die cut. Okay, so let's put these aside for a few minutes, and then whatever you're going to use to decorate, and I already have a colored butterfly, so that's what I'm going to use. Put those aside. I'm going to show you the scoring. Hopefully I can stay in screen and you can see. Okay, on the 5 1/2 inch side, let's see if I can zoom it in just a little bit more. Still let you see. Okay, try that. Okay, so on the 5 1/2 inch side, we're going to score it at 1 1/2 and 4, or 1 1/2 inches from the side. Flip it around 1 1/2 inches. However you want to do it, that's fine. Okay, now on the 4 1/4 inch side, we're going to score at 1 1/2 and 2 3/4. Again, it's 1 1/2 inches from the edge. If you want to flip it and do it this way and do 1 1/2 inches from the edge, that's fine. Okay, now I recommend scoring or burnishing these folds at this point. I can get the scoring board right out of here. It's much easier to score it before you cut it. I find you can do it the other way too. Or crease it, burnish it, whatever. Okay, now we're going to bring in our snips. And on the short sides, we're going to cut up these 2 score lines to the score line. And I like to cut the score line out or just cut directly on the score line to make it nice and neat. Okay, I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay, now we're going to, on these flaps, we're going to cut off, we're just going to leave like a 1/4 inch flap. I'm going to cut the rest off, like that. Okay, I'm going to do that on all 4 of those flaps. If you want to leave a little bit more, you can do that. Do it in half if you want. I just found this gives you enough to glue, not so much that it's a hindrance. Okay. Now we're going to put glue on these 4 edges. I'm just going to use wet glue, but you can use your tear and tape. That'll probably work really well too. I'm going to put the wet glue. Come on, James. Really helps if you close your glue. Let's see if this one's going to work. Oh, that's much better. Okay, and you're going to fold these up, and you're going to line up the edge of this with the edge here. I'm going to do it on both sides. Make sure I'm staying in frame here. Okay. Now you notice this side is a little bit taller. That's where if you turned the paper around and did it on both, on the 1.5 inches on both sides, you probably wouldn't get that. But I'm just going to take my snips, do a little trim there, just to that corner, just so that it doesn't show on this side here. And it really doesn't matter. Okay, I'm just going to tidy that just a hair, okay? Now we're going to bring in both our yellow piece and our decorator piece, and we're going to attach those together. Well, this probably would have been a good place to use the adhesive backing paper. I always forget to use it, so I'm just going to put little dabs of wet glue. All over the back of it. Don't need lots, just tiny little bits. Okay, center this up on here. Adhere it down. Okay. Now we're going to bring in our trimmer. Do it this way because it's easier for me. I don't know why. And we're going to cut this in half. This is 4 inches, so we're going to cut it at 2 inches. Okay, and I want my blade, I want to cut towards the make sure I got it still, okay. I want to cut towards the, and it's going to be a little bit harder because you're cutting through this bumpy layer here. So if you need to cut it twice, I didn't need to really, but it sounds horrible when you're doing it. Okay. Now we're going to bring in our box. We're going to put, let's get this out of the way. We're going to put adhesive on the box itself because the yellow, these are going to be a little bit wider than the box. We're going to line it up with the bottom of the box. And there's going to be like 1/8 of an inch on either side. Scooch it till it matches. Make sure it's level on the bottom. We'll do the same thing on the other one. Okay. Now we're going to bring in those strips and we're going to put glue on the ends on one side, on both ends. Okay, just a little bit. We're going to, on the inside, we're going to go and tuck it just under the edge a little bit. And see how I'm a little bit away from the edge, maybe 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to pinch that there. Then I'm going to bend it so that that glue side is still on the same side. And I'm going to attach the other side. And it's on the same front of the box. It's not going front to back, it's front to front. Okay, do the same thing on the other one. A little bit of glue on the ends. Use glue dots if you'd rather. Lift it up, tuck it under that end edge a little ways. Push it down, turn it, tuck it under the edge. Hold it for just a second. Okay, and that's the basic bag. You can decorate it any way you want. You could add flowers to the front. I'm just going to add the little butterfly. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on its back. Set it right in the center. And there we go. There's my little box. Now I don't keep a lot of sweets in the house. I just have a couple pieces of Reese's peanut butter cups that are left over from Halloween. I didn't want to buy some more candy because then I'd end up eating it. And they fit nicely in there. Well, thank you for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.